Does he involve natural law in it? Because I think that's a pretty key element of it. I think that's how the whole thing works.
What do you mean by natural law?
So
Because he does.
natural law or moral law, basically the rule of non-transgression. I think that there are real moral rules in the universe, whether you want to call it God's law, nature's law, or
Okay.
whatever. Um, I think the real fact of the matter is when we initiate harm to other people or act in a way that initiates harm, like by violating most of the Ten Commandments, we're acting immorally. The more that happens, the more a society will self-impose its subservience to a system because the system becomes necessary. That's how I view the whole thing is working. That's the whole trap that I think that the Christ consciousness or whatever Jesus could make you aware of and get you out of. If you act right, you can be free from these oppression systems. Exodus could have been that realization, for instance. Um, and my Bible's rusty, so maybe it's not a great fit, but I see all these things sort of in those terms.
Okay, I can agree with that to the extent that, I mean, well, I think what you just defined there is implicit, but is no direct. It's part of many stories, but it's no all of one story. Although that's touched on. So in your definition, I would say that that's the concretized ideas behind behind the Asian tradition, saying something like, what is that word that they use? Karma. That's the real
Sort of.
rationale, the concretized reason for karma. And that's what I think it was originally trying to express, and the people who are take it seriously, not Americans, but the people who take it seriously would see it the way that I think you're describing.
I think what I'm describing is the very is it's not like it's not there's laws of gravity, there's laws of nature, the laws of society. The only way society works is if people can act morally towards each other.
Hmm.
Um, that's how I would describe that. But yeah, I
And
so in this whatever perspective, I would posit that knowledge of good and evil, of the morality laws of society, that's basically occulted knowledge. That's truth that has been hidden from us, and we're fed things like gangster rap, fucking porn titles that are all incestuous, like just all the worst moral deviance, so that we engage in it. Because ultimately, like I mentioned earlier, we're moral animals to the core, whether we want to admit it or not. People love to deny it and say things like morality is subjective, while at the same time being completely absorbed in their own moral perspectives on everything around them.
sure,
So if
yeah, I think
we
we kind of
believe that
can't
we're
help it. Yeah.
right, we can't. But if we believe we're at fault and other people believe we're at fault, that's a done deal basically in everyone's head. But you
Hmm.
have to have the moral conviction that you have to participate in it.
And that's real in a very biological way, I think. And there's nothing that is there's again with my brain. I think there's nothing gray about that. That there are absolutes in what the human animal is, and what they need and require socially and individually.
I'd agree.
So actually, there's no choice about it. There is an ultimatum in there.
Say that again.
I said there's an ultimatum in that. The human animal is what the human animal is, and it can't
Right.
be something else.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So then a manifestation of Satan or Lucifer, whatever, trying to be God would be man's law, trying to change natural law,
Which to me is like denying biology, and it's just
which
ridiculous.
is exactly something they're doing a lot of lately.
You notice too, huh?
I have, but just because you can drill a hole in something doesn't mean it's a vagina.
That's
But I
true.
still might have sex with it. All right. I don't want any of my videos to be monetized ever.
Given about to read the resurrection of a savior coming out of Nazareth, where you can catch a laceration and a crucifixion under one condition. You make the decision, moving like a sin in my position, living at the bottom, wishing I was with it, couldn't tell the difference. I'm tired of giving the false repentance. My faith in the book that was written by other people that probably wrote with agendas. So every word was